It's me. Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Fangame Summer Feast. The second to last day of 2025. And I'm starting the day off with I Want to Be the Angel on beginner difficulty. And I'm just going to get started because this is a really long run and I have a lot to talk about. Alright, so we'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. So we're going to start the game by dying. And now we're dead. So yeah, this is the whole plot of the game, is that you just start the game and then you die. And then after you die, you're in the afterlife. And now we have to make our journey to become an angel. And to become an angel, we need the 9 wings. And getting the 9 wings will take some time. So right off the bat, you can already tell, this game has huge See the Moon inspiration. Our first stage is actually very similar. Even with this little trap over here. But even when you compare it to See the Moon and other games like it, this game still remains absolutely gigantic. It has... I need to count them again in my head. 6, 7, 8... It has 12 stages. Some of them split up into smaller stages as well. So if you were to, like... I would say it probably has about 20 sections that you could call stages. It is absurdly big. And mostly pretty good and, like, varied, too. Again, very, very much inspired by See the Moon. Obviously, as we start things out, there's not going to be a whole lot. It's just a very basic platforming as we make our way to the end of stage 1. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that, but we're actually almost already at the end of stage 1. Oh, yeah. One thing about this run you will see, it is the beginner difficulty. Most people, I think, have played this game on standard. Well, the people that have played this game. I don't think many people have actually played this game. Maybe that's not true. I'm not sure. But I think most people play it on standard, and then there's a few weirdos that go for expert like I did. So most people don't actually know this because they think the game is absolutely ridiculously hard, which it is on those difficulties. Standard is like pretty hard and expert is really hard. But beginner is actually a pretty reasonable adventure. And I only found that out myself when I was doing this. A lot of the screens, there's like some very infamous screens in this game. People that have played it would know the lava screen, for example. Just stuff that's absolutely like ridiculously precise on other difficulties. I was hoping for a spawn there to get a faster kill. Is much, much easier in beginner. It's actually like very considerably nerfed, and I think on beginner it's a pretty enjoyable adventure for players of all experiences. Alright, so that was the first wing that we got. I didn't talk much about that cherry boss, it's pretty simple. It is the first boss of the game after all. Yeah, we obtained the first of, again, 9 wings. So not every stage has a wing, some stages are just there to transition from one stage to another stage. Such as the stage we're heading to, stage 2. After the forest, or well, it's the beginning field. And now we're going to the glaring beach. And so this stage doesn't have a wing, it doesn't have a boss or anything. It is just there to go from stage 1 to stage, well, one of the stages 3s, which I'll talk about once we get there. Difficulty scales like an Idolmaster. It's sort of. It's one of those games, again, like See the Moon, actually. It's one of those games that has different difficulties that actually affect something that's not the number of saves. In Idolmaster, there's a lot more as well. You know, there's the speedrun challenges, there's more content on the harder difficulties. That's not the case here, it's just harder. But it is like considerably harder. A lot of this needle would be much harder. The bosses have more health and their attacks are buffed. So this is more comparable to the See the Moon difficulty select. I think most people won't even remember the See the Moon difficulty select, because you just see it, you pick the standard, you don't pick the hard mode. Because everyone says to not play the hard mode. Alright, so this is, but I talked about it real quick, but this is stage 2. And I'm going to say this is stage 2 part 1. At this point, stages start to be divided into several sections, you could call. And this is the first section. You just have to go around shooting these purple switches. Oops. I tried to go for that, but not a good idea. So we're just going around here, and then when we shoot the 3 purple switches save on when you save, so don't have to think about it too much. Yeah, once we get the 3 purple switches, then the path to the next section unlocks. Down here. And pretty early in the game, not a whole lot of gimmicks. Once we get past like stage 2, then a lot of stuff gets introduced. And I totally forgot about that section of traps. But I guess this does introduce water. It is water 1 for those who are familiar with it. Again, just completely forgot. Wrong trap there. Yeah, this game came out, I think, in 2019, which you probably couldn't tell by the way this game looks. As a 2019 game, it's made in the Poronyumu engine. It definitely like feels like a game that would come out in like 2013, 2014, and I mean this in a very good way, obviously. I absolutely love this game. I messed up the timing. I'm gonna go up, down, up again, then you can just go quickly. This game's got some nice tunes as well. Alright, and this is the breaking point. So this is the first of many points in the game where you have a choice. You can either go down here or go up. Continue to the right. And one of them leads to stage 3A, which is down here. And the other path leads to stage 3B, which is where we're going first. Every other branching point in the game doesn't matter. This specific one does matter. Going to 3B is slightly faster. It's like 15 seconds faster, I'd say. This doesn't matter because you have to come back and do 3A later, no matter what. You do have to do every single stage. But doing 3B now rather than later actually does save a bit of time. And we'll explain why when we get there in like an hour. Yeah, this is the path to 3B. If you just go down, you get straight to 3A. If you choose to go here, you have to do this little boat ride auto-scroller. Which again, this is one of those like infamous sections. Like if you have played this game on standard or I think it's extreme, not expert difficulty, you probably remember spending a lot of time on this boat section. It is so much harder. Also, obviously, it's a long save. We're gonna try not to die. But we are at the end now. Alright, and this is gonna bring us to 3B. And you're gonna see me turn my head because now the game is on a different monitor because this resizes. I think it's only this stage that just resizes every time you die. So 3B Sunset Jungle. Now you get to see a couple more gimmicks. There's actually like a big puzzle in this stage as well. So first off, we have this like murky water. We have to bring clear water into the murky water to make it swimmable. There's the shootable blocks. I think next screen you get to see the weird vines as well. Let's see. Yeah, here they are. So these vines are hard to explain. You can think of them like regular Fangame vines, but you can go both ways on them. You can also treat them like a ladder, and it refreshes your double jump. It's kind of just like everything all at once. Whoops. Oh, come on now. Yeah, that water's fake there, so you're trying to do a little swing. There we go. So most of the time, I didn't hit the save. I was going to be treating it like a vine, because obviously I get more airtime out of that, but sometimes you just need to climb it like a vine. It really is like a mix of everything. There we go. Oops, my timer just went off. All right, here we're blocked by this pile of spikes, and this is actually the puzzle of this stage. But we don't know what it's for until later. I'll explain when we get there. Again, this is another stage split into two sections. They're both called 3B, but they're like two very distinct sections, marked by the arrival of a new enemy. This first section is kind of laid out like a maze, again, for the help of the puzzle. But for now, we get to take this lovely platform ride and enjoy the sunset. You got to open the path. I'm pretty sure all platforms in this game die when they actually touch something. Well, touch a solid. Yeah, you can hear the kill sound there. And then with the higher platform, you get to go up on the vine. Again, beginner is not too difficult, but there's still quite a lot of like pretty long saves. I think the puzzle save in this stage takes like 2 minutes to do without dying. Maybe quite a lot. A little back and forth. Take this platform. I'm gonna need this platform back, so I'm gonna save and reset on the next save. The next save is the big puzzle save, if I'm not mistaken. Ah, missed the cycle. There we go. This is the big puzzle. You can see it says 351642, and it shows the same spikes as before. I forgot to reset. And so that's your hint to go back down to the pile of spikes after you activate the button. I'm not gonna go there. Well, I could go down there. So you can see there's now some fruit below it, and those fruit combined with the numbers give you the solution to the puzzle. Need to be careful here. Yeah, because these come up. Alright, so now we've gone to the other side. Alright, and I don't remember exactly how it works, but the solution is red, yellow, green, blue, cyan, pink. And then when you go over here, okay. Now I can take the other platform. That's why I reset earlier, because I need both of those platforms. And we get to go down here. And now we get to enter the second section of 3B. This is versus the men. You have these stones you can push to trap the men. Now the men, they're not very nice. You're invading upon their land, and so when they see you, they're going to shoot these 3 arrows at you. Nonetheless, we must continue our journey. Here you go, this little section where you're going to just go across the vines up top like Tarzan. Yeah, they have a pretty big range where they'll detect you. If you're like at all like in any conceivable way visible to them, they will just start shooting, and they will not stop. So you got some pretty tough dodges to do. Here, I'll just wait until he's turned around. Trap this one. When they're trapped, they kind of just get stuck. And they shoot into the rock, which is nice. I'll time this correctly. There we go. And so we're going up here because the water at the bottom is murky and we need to freshen it up. Now we can go all the way back down. That's always a bit close. Yeah, again, on like stuff like standard and expert, that save down there with the water, it's just full of like gate jumps and diagonals, stuff like that. I missed my platform cycle there, so I'm just gonna wait it out. There's some truly, truly difficult needle saves on harder difficulties. And also non-needle saves. Alright, here we get a pretty long save. Whoop, gotta be careful with that. Okay, the vines are a little janky because, again, they have both ladder and vine behavior. And one of them can kind of interrupt the other. We have a longer save where you get to shoot a whole bunch of fruit. I could have gone there, but I wasn't sure about the timing. Alright, one more save. Yeah, I think most people who have played this game just remember how absolutely brutal the harder difficulties are. I'm like the first person to ever play this on an easier difficulty. Alright, this is one of like the toughest bosses in the game. And by tough, I mean it's just kind of an absolute pain, and it sucks to die to. So this is inspired by the Fly Swatter segment in Mario Paint, I believe. And so you have a whole bunch of just fruit coming in, and you're on these vines, and you're trying not to fall off, and also just destroy all the fruit. There's 3 different types of fruit. You got the white ones. The white ones do nothing. The orange ones will transform every couple of seconds and shoot off in diagonals. And then there's the blue ones, which I've spawn killed all of them because they're an absolute pain. They shoot aiming fruit at you. Now, none of these fruit have contact damage, thankfully. So the only threat are the orange ones. I'm trying to spawn kill as many of them as possible. There's a lot of orange in the top left. In fact, I think that should be it. Alright, and then once you kill all of these, and you think, oh, I'm done, right? No, you're not done. Now it's time for the boss. So after doing all that, then you get to fight the boss. And if you mess this up, then you have to redo all of that over again. I'm gonna do my best not to die because that would be really painful. I would cry. Ugh. I kind of risked that a little bit too much. Okay, I'll just wait this out. Better safe than sorry. I don't want to do this again. And I need to be careful because that orange one does not despawn. Okay, there we go. Okay, first trying that is an absolute relief. That is the one boss you definitely do not want to die to. Well, I guess the final boss too, but that one sucks even more. Because it's so boring. And so that's 3B. We've obtained our second wing now, and we get to go to vertical lane. And you can see the path down there in the bottom left. That's the ending of 3A. And so both 3A and 3B converge here. I actually did not know about that trap that I just triggered just now. But we're in World 4 now, and the start of World 4 is kind of just unassuming. That's very similar to World 2. It's just a bunch of needle. Right, in a couple screens, World 4 will reveal what it truly is. I think one of the most janky gimmicks in this whole game. Okay, let me actually move this over here. I forgot to do this. Okay. This is the pickaxe. You can use the pickaxe to climb on these dirt walls. I don't have a gun anymore. The pickaxe replaces the gun. So this is a little bit janky. If I'm at any point holding jump when I put the pickaxe in the wall, I'm gonna lose my double jump. So I like always need to use it when I'm going down. It's a bit janky like that. Those blocks are fake, that's why I did that. Yeah, now the rest of this stage is it's kind of like dirt climbing. This whole screen, like, you just kind of get to skip it on beginner. There's way more spikes and you can't quite just do what I just did there. No. Ah, this is another... I didn't realize that this is a section that resizes as well. Alright, there we go. Here you have the journey with the shooter. Alright, okay, I forgot how to do that. You have to go above it when it's close. Like that. Damn. Yeah, that dodge right there is the hard part. If you get past that, you're totally home free. And most of these are fakes, so the ones at the bottom. I'm gonna go up carefully, I don't want to lose my double jump. On beginner, it's pretty easy to do this whole stage without actually losing your double jump to the gimmick, as long as you play it pretty carefully. On harder difficulties, you're a bit more rushed. There we go. And so here we get our second branch. If you go up, you get to go to 5A, and if you go down, you get to go to 5B. I choose 5B here, not for any particular reason. Well, okay, now the reason is I think 5B is harder, so I do it first. I think 5B is also one of the longest stages in the whole game, so nice to get it out of the way first. Oh, and this whole stage was just hitting these 8 switches to open up the path at the bottom. Now we get our gun back. No more climbing. Just a little section. A bit more platforming before we make our way to the 5B proper. Alright, that's one of the hardest traps to remember for me. There's just fake blocks here. I never remember that for some reason. Right, don't forget to jump high here. There we go. And there's 5B. Now 5B is a very long stage. I think I split it up into like 3 different sections. It also has a lot of very different gimmicks as well. So you have these lasers that continue until they touch something. And you have blocks to turn the lasers as well. That's the first of like 3 different new gimmicks in this stage. Move the mouse out of the way. He's an absolute jammer. We love the Kirby Factory song. Reset here for the cycle. So yeah, you have the red one that spins it one way, and you have the blue one that spins it the other way. It's also the first time you see these blocks, so you can stand on them for an amount of time that's shown on the block. And then once that's over, the block disappears. It's a pretty, common thing, but the first time we see it in this game. You have to go under the platform at the right time to skip the laser. I haven't been talking about the stage names, but like all the stage names in this game are really good. I picked the wrong one. I always forget it's red. I think it's blue every single time for some reason. And the last stage was vertical lane. This is the fortified cave. Stage names are always fun. There's a trap there. You can just... I think you can only do this in beginner. You can just ignore it in beginner. And beginner has quite a lot of nerfs. Some of them are a little weird. Need to wait for this to go over here. Anyway, so this is the second section of the fortified cave. So here we have to do 3 different paths with a special kind of game at the end of them. And each path turns off 1 laser to unlock the way to the 3rd and final section of this stage. I was going to say, this timing is not going to be good. And so here you have the bouncers that go up. You have these treadmills. The treadmills are pretty jank, as you just saw probably. I'm doing this path first because it has the, well, one of the bits of the game that I suck the most at. A little game of memory. And on any given day, I'm very good at it, and on any given day, I'm also very bad at it. Alright, so I have pen and paper over here. Let's hope I get this first try. Okay, so this one's pretty simple. It's only 4 in a row, so I should be able to get this. That one, that one. Yeah, once you get to 6, it gets a little hard. Sometimes you get like really nice patterns that are easy to recognize, and sometimes you don't. Yeah, then this goes to 7. And so that's why I have the pen and paper. 4 I can do. 7... I cannot do consistently. Even 6 sometimes I'm not very good at. There we go. Once you do the 3 stages, then you're done. Put the pen and paper away. Hey. Alright. And there's no teleporter to go back. You have to go back manually to the section. Simplifies the Morning Dew. True. I think that... Did this game come out before Morning Dew? I'm not sure. I definitely don't know enough about Morning Dew to say that for sure. Hey. What's that fruit doing there? No, this came out before Morning Dew, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Wait, no. I forgot. Bottom's the last one, because it's the closest to the exit. We do left next. Again, just more treadmills, more lasers. More of the go up majiggy. And a couple more traps as well. Alright, here I have to remember I'm shooting Right, I forgot about that. I have to shoot the left one. There's a trap here and there's another trap there. They switch at the very last second. So you shoot the one that you don't want to shoot. I never really check for the cycle here, I just always somehow catch it. Alright, here's the second game. A bit of a like rhythm-ish segment. You have to like press some of these keys and then use shift to shoot the corresponding bullets. It's actually pretty easy. It's just a fun little game. You got some combinations now. And you have some HP on the left as well, so you can actually make a couple mistakes. That's totally fine. Oh, here you have to not press anything for the pink ones. There we go. And now they go back. I can make that. Nope, okay. I thought I could make that. Oh yeah, when you go up, if you touch a wall, you're gonna just stop going up. Oh, okay, we're gonna do another round over here. There we go. I want to say treadmill ate my jump, but I'm pretty sure I just jumped too early there. There we go. Alright, we're back at this loading point. Now we're going to go down. This would have the hardest game of the three. But, I think you'll recognize pretty quickly why it's not one of the hardest. Oh, I've got a good cycle here. A reset cycle is not very good here, so just take whatever you get. The game at the end of the section is, I think it's a very popular kind of section to put in all sorts of fan games, and every single time it just gets completely broken. It's a mouse section. I have to put my mouse here and I have to like drag this all the way to the end, but I'm not doing that. You can use the sign that's like literally right next to it to completely skip it. And for the record, they did try to patch it out. You can't pause while that section's going on. Not allowed. But you can just read the sign. The very conveniently placed sign right next to it, yeah. The whole section without dying, that's nice. Alright, we're off to section 3 of this stage. Whoop, down here. I'm gonna try to move my window. I don't know if this resizes. I'm gonna move my window. It doesn't, okay. This is an auto-scroller section. Only a couple saves in here, but because of a bug, this is also one of the toughest sections. Again, Poronyumu engine. And a maker that doesn't necessarily know what they're doing and just making a giant adventure can lead to some unfortunate scenarios. I'll explain as soon as we see it. Yeah, let me through. So those vines there, if I hold jump and try to walk off, it makes me jump. So I have to be very careful when I go off. I have to like jump, kind of do it like a corner. Otherwise I get flung into the spikes. So yeah, it's like a section like unintentionally is way harder than it should be. The first one's the hardest one. After that it's mostly fine as long as I get really close. That's the problem save done with. The rest of this should be totally fine now. A pretty long section here with just these blocks over and over again. Thankfully, we're coming up on the boss of this stage. The boss of this stage is actually the fastest of all the bosses, because I'm pretty sure it's the only boss that doesn't have some sort of iframes. Or like protection. Right now it speeds up. Obviously that doesn't really make it much harder, but... it's kind of cool looking. Alright. Here's the boss of 5B. It is the Twin Cherries. Yeah, this resizes the screen. Yeah, these don't have iframes. Instead, each time you shoot them, they kind of speed up. So we're just going to try to burst them down before they can do anything. It's going to take a couple tries, but it's still, you know, pretty fast. There we go. And so that's our third wing, I believe. 3 of 9. We've got a long way to go. It gets a lot faster in the second half, but still, yeah. And now our journey up to the orbital base. We're getting closer and closer to that starry sky. To the angel in the heavens. And the main gimmick of this is that you have these, well, you have a couple of fields, but the main one is this gravity field. While you're in this, you kind of just, your velocity goes upside down. Actually a really cool gimmick. Oh yeah, there's a lot of traps in here, I forgot about that. Of course, you also have, you know, your high gravity field, your low gravity field. They'll come in later though. The main one is this purple one, or pink. So here's the red one's high gravity. Not quite as high as something like Nang, for example, but still pretty high. Yeah, the whole thing of the first section of this stage is you have to go left and right to open the middle path. Doesn't matter which one you do first, you have to do them both. So here I'm going to try to open up a path for when I go back. I'm trying not to die here. It's pretty easy to die on this save. Another one of the harder saves. I think this might be the stage with the most traps. know why the maker just remembered that they like traps in here. I think pretty much every single save has at least one trap. Like this one. They are pretty good traps, though, I will say. Okay, no, some of them are just spike traps, but I think this stage, while having the most traps, also has the highest quality of traps. Alright, that's the left path done for the first section. Get to go up and shoot this purple switch. Now for the right path. Be careful not to hit back the field there. Now these spikes come down. Alright, and then here's the green field. It's not a speed up, it's the low gravity. Right away we get to use it in this one. Yeah, this first button we have to shoot is awkward. We have to shoot this one first because we need the purple field. And shooting a different button takes the purple field away. Oops. Go up. I guess I'll go down here first while I'm here. There we go. I love this song from Mario Galaxy. Alright, this goes. Whoa! Okay. A bit difficult to control sometimes. At least by doing that I got a good cycle. Oh, never mind. I can just reset for the good cycle anyways here. Alright. A bit further, please. There we go. Again, just another trap. Here the path is over here, not down. And that's the end of the right path. I'm probably gonna jinx myself by saying this, but this run has been going pretty well. Alright. Now for section 2 of the orbital base, there's no left or right anymore, it's just a straight path to the end. Now all the gravity fields can come into play. Alright, shoot that open. Oh, my platform. And here, I get a little gotcha. Yeah, and then that middle section up there is where we're trying to go. We gotta take quite a detour to go there, because the path down there is blocked by those arrows. Alright, this section's a bit awkward. Yeah, you don't make that. I was trying something there, but you don't make it. Just got a full hold left there like that. And yeah, also jump into the spike. That's definitely going to be helpful. There we go. Alright, one more save. Now run to the boss of stage 6. There we go. The power of upwards. And here is the ultimate cherry. I don't really know what to call it. These bosses don't have names, unfortunately. A pretty simple boss. His first attack is actually the hardest because it's the one that restricts your movement the most. Also, I probably shouldn't have talked about this, but you can see the boss has a timer next to the health bar. If that timer runs out, then you just die instantly. For most of the bosses, it really doesn't matter. You're never really going to run into the timer, but for one very specific awesome boss, it will come into play a lot more. So the field always spawns on the other side, so I just bait it to the right side here. We do love Toho music in the I Want to Be the Guy fan game. Just gonna wait here. This boss is pretty fast, only one more shot and he's done. We get the 4th wing. And that's it. Our path comes to an end. There's nothing beyond the orbital base. And we have to go back to the afterlife. Well, you might be thinking, like, didn't you say there were 9 wings, Cosmo? What do you mean you're at the end and there's only 4? Well, that was like the A side, and now it's time for the B side. We get the rainbow gun. The rainbow gun lets us shoot these blocks. That's all the rainbow gun does. And I guess it has bigger bullets, which is nice. And we go back to the beginning field, and we get to go take the B side of beginning field, which is this back path over here. And so now we get to do all the stuff that we missed, and also new stuff that's unlocked by having this rainbow gun. Like this whole other path to the first stage that you can't see if you don't have the rainbow gun. We get to see our good friend again, the face. He's on the other screen, you can't see him here, but he just spawned in. Yeah, really, having the bigger bullets is both a blessing and a curse. I mean, it's easier to hit bosses, but it's also easier to accidentally shoot like a block that you're not trying to shoot. Alright, we're almost at the end of this B side, I believe. Here there's a couple traps, I'm trying to remember which ones. That goes. The face goes here. Why did I do that? I was trying to figure out if I should use the vine or not. I accidentally did both. I just used the vine. Alright, and that is the backside of World 1 done. And now we get to go here, and this is like our new hub, basically. And so now when we press M, we get to go back here. And the hub just takes us to all the branching points in the game and the bits that we need to go back to. So first we get to go straight back here and take the down path into World 3A. Because earlier we went to 3B. Make sure to stay hydrated. And now it's the submarine gate, a fully underwater world. But we're not actually here for the submarine gate. Because on top of having branching paths, this game actually has hidden areas as well. These are the things you can unlock with the rainbow gun. And World 3A is our first... well, the first place where we can access one of these hidden worlds. We're gonna go up here, and this is why doing this later is actually faster. The first section of 3A is you have to shoot these 5 purple switches underwater. But right next to this first switch over here is the path to the first secret stage. So we get to shoot that and then just avoid the backtrack. This screen on harder difficulties is an absolute nightmare. It has like 2 planes, I think. Alright. And here's the first secret stage. The Under Crater. Obviously it's just Under Crater, but... and when there's a typo, you just gotta say it out loud. And this is the iconic save. If you've played this game on standard or expert, you absolutely remember this save. This save is brutal beyond belief. Because of this section right here. You have a little bit less shield, because this is lava. And this is like the water shield that prevents the lava from hitting me. Yeah, if you're playing on a harder difficulty, you have a little bit less shield, and it makes that final jump so much harder. You have to do like some... oops, I forgot to shoot those. Like shenanigans. Like, I think people genuinely believe there's like V-align trickery and stuff going on with that save on harder difficulties. But on beginner, you have a little bit more shield, so it doesn't matter. So that's the whole gimmick of this stage is you have these lava fields that obviously kill you when you touch them, and you have the water shields that prevent a certain amount of lava from hitting you. Here you have to go down and up. We go down first because the spike blocks the shield if you go there later. I always forget about those chops because it doesn't matter. Yeah, you gotta come here with a fresh shield because otherwise you don't make it. Alright. I want to hit this vine and keep my double jump. There we go. And all the secret stages are pretty short. It's only a couple screens long. We're actually like almost at the end of this already. Yeah, here's the final save. And these also don't have bosses. You just get to wing. Just gotta be careful here to go at the right time, yeah. I don't know why I did that way. That was a bit risky. Oops. Mouse moved again, hold on. Oof. Yeah, I risked that for no reason. That's not hard at all. Yeah, we get the wing, and we can just go back. Alright, now we get to go back here and actually do 3A this time instead of the secret area. I'm perfectly, like, I'm way underestimate right now. Alright, so now that purple switch from earlier is still activated, so we don't have to go back and hit it. And so instead of having to hit the 5 purple switches, we only have to hit 4 now. Again, much like the first part of 3B, it's kind of like a pretty big open area with a lot to do. Thankfully, remembering where the switches are is pretty easy. You can just kind of start from over here. And go in a bit of a clockwise order. Gonna be careful with these, because it's pretty easy to get shot by them. Tried to get me. That's 2 out of 5. Here you get to see the bloopers. I think this is like the only save with them. They'll target you if you are above them, but otherwise they'll kind of just shoot off to the sides. That's a stupid way to die. See, I'm under them now, so they can't hit me anymore. Alright, just gonna wait for this. Trigger that at the right time. Barely. Then down here, if we go through this current, we have another button. First we have to dodge that trap. Then, oh, check out this arrow. I wonder where that leads. I wasn't off. I forgot I can move this over here again. Alright, here's the final switch. Probably the toughest one, if I had to say. Yeah. So you think you can go up through those platforms, but there's a trap there, so you can't. It is quite sad. Alright, well, that is all 5 switches hit. Up here, I believe, yeah, is the exit. We gotta make the elevator go up, and up it goes. Just a little extra section down here, and then we're on to the second part of 3A. I feel like if you saw the first half of this run, you would be thinking this game doesn't actually have that much variety. The stages are all pretty long, and you could be right, but don't worry, the second half of this run is just a non-stop assault of, like, new stages. Gotta make this before it blocks the path. It's our friend the squid again. Goodbye. Because the second half of Submarine Gate is not still Submarine Gate. And now we're in a ruin. It's the Star Mask's ruin. And this is the second half of Stage 3A. It's still 3A, but it's not a Submarine Gate anymore. And the gimmick here is you have these red and blue orbs. You'll see the blue orb later. Yeah, you have to stand on them to open the light up a couple blocks. Here you have to be careful not to let it open too long. Here, I only need the red one. I gotta catch this platform though. Nicely done. Alright, now I need both. Blue first, then red, and then we can go. Okay, barely made that. That one's a bit tight. Yeah, the boss of this area is absolutely awesome. But first, we just gotta go through the rest of the stage first. Here's a nice little trap. And we have to go over that spike, not under, because otherwise there's another trap. There we go. Now, normally on other difficulties here, you'd have to like go up using those blues because there's another spike there. But on beginner difficulty, that spike is removed, so you get to just skip 2 saves for free. I hit that save. Here, it's a game of choose wisely. We have to go up. Then we have to go up again. Oh yeah, is this the save? Yeah, this save here is pretty long. So we have to shoot all of these fruit before the platform hits it. And then we gotta get to the platform down here. I don't know why, but on beginner, this platform is so much slower than on the other difficulties. So we have to wait here like 30 seconds. It just got on screen. It's still coming. Yep. Still going. All right, now we can go. Yeah, you get to skip 2 saves, but this one save is 30 seconds longer now. Run, kid. Run like the wind. Here I gotta make sure that these all spawn on the correct side, which is, yeah, just reset here, it's much faster. Gotta make sure these all stay on the left side. Here you can't quite go up. We have to go down over here first and shoot this button to open the floodgates. You just go into the water low, you can totally hit this button. Please? 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 Thank you. And I believe this is the end of Star Mask's ruin. Yeah, and now it's time for Fangame. You can jam out to this for a while. Yeah, periodically the Sphinx will shoot out a blue or red circle, which we can use to get up. And every time we shoot it, it goes, well, it goes down if it was up, and it goes up if it was down. What a good song. The boss is not too hard, but every now and then you have to get pretty close to it. I think it's also possible to do like some pretty crazy shenanigans if you get lucky and get some extra damage. I've only ever done it like once though. It might be more possible in the harder difficulties. Oh. And there we go. That's our 6th wing. We get to skip those few screens at the end of 3A. So now we're going to the next branching path, the vertical lane. We get to go up into 5A, Cloudy Corridor. Absolute jammer of a song on this stage. I can move this over here as well. I actually really like the theming of this stage as well. But it's also the first time you get to see jump refreshers in this entire game. I'm not kidding, we've been playing this for an hour. This is the first time you see jump refreshers. Beware of the hidden block. Oh, saxophone. This is the nice bit of theming. You have like go up this corridor multiple times. I'm gonna try to do this faster, but this is pretty hard. Okay, there we go. Shooting all 3 in one go is not easy. So you get this cute little tower on the side, kind of links up everything. With the bigger bullet, it's barely possible to hit that without actually going on the platform. Oh, and here's another new gimmick. So this cloud, depending on which side you're standing on, it'll go a different direction. So if I'm on the left, it'll go left. If I'm on the right, it'll go right. That's the gimmick of 5A, the main gimmick, outside of, you know, jump refreshers. Well, this part of 5A at least. There's another part to 5A, which again, is just a completely different stage. And has its own gimmick as well. I timed those wrong. There we go. I forgot actually. Yeah, I need to go up here to shoot out this block here. And you have to go down here. Well, we can't take this entry into the elevator because it's covered in kill blocks. So we have to go here instead. I'm make sure I get the timing right for these so they all go above me. Nope. Oh, the saxophone was just about to come in. No. Yeah, unfortunately, as a 2019 game in the Poronumu engine, this has restarting music. I mean, you all know how it is. Here we go. Oh, I shouldn't have taken that save. It doesn't matter, but I shouldn't have. Let's take this platform. And now we're on to the second half of World 5A, the floater tower. And now when we jump off of these clouds, they'll transition from horizontal movement to vertical movement. Now, funnily enough, that's not the only new gimmick they added here. I always forget this block is fake. You also have these green and purple switches that turn stuff on and off. You get green switches, purple switches, and double switches. And here is, I think, the only skip I've discovered in this entire game is you can skip a bit of the save by doing this shot. Which is nice because I think this is one of the more annoying saves to do. At the very least, I definitely don't remember how to do it. Catch the elevator. I'd probably say like a frame by resetting there. And you can see there's another block that we can shoot in the top left. And that's going to be for the second secret stage, which we're going to do later. I'm going to actually finish 5A before we go there. I need to reset here for the buttons. Okay. I did that wrong. I meant to go down there. So this is another save where you have to shoot a bunch of yellow cherries. But some of the yellow cherries are not up there, they're actually down here. A little cheeky, we have to go back there. Then we can do the rest of this as normal. Just a little bit further. Not much to talk about at this point. I've kind of explained all of the game, and the gimmicks are coming in one by one. I think we're just about at the end of the floater tower, though. Elevator section's pretty classic in Fangames. I need to reset there. There we go. Little trip around the world. There we go. And now for the boss of 5A. It's the sun. This boss is much easier on beginner than on other difficulties. This is one of the infamous bosses. If you play this game, you've probably struggled with this guy. I don't remember exactly why. I think he shoots a lot more. Yeah, as you can see, complete pushover now. Yeah, I think on other difficulties, when you shoot the shield, it shoots back at you or something. And now we have access to this because we went up here. But this brings us back to the start of Floater Tower, which we need to do to go to the side, the secret stage. But I don't know what happened there. Yeah, this section's a little bit longer than the getting to the secret stage in Submarine Gate. You have to do a little bit more of this stage before you can go back there. I keep shooting the wrong one. It's pink first there. Then green. Then green again. Then pink. Oops. Thankfully, I managed to find a skip on, you know, one of the few saves you have to do twice. Hey. What? Come on, get me over there. This section's a little bit janky. Alright, before I actually go there, I'm gonna go up and hit the save. It's faster to start over from here. So you have to do this, you have to do this, which activates a trap, but it also stops the elevator. And we get to go over here. And welcome to the aerial garden. This is one of the coolest areas in the whole game. It's got kill block needle. This colored grass is a kill block. It's got this awesome song. And it's got a really, really cool environmental puzzle. That I should probably open my notes to actually get the answer to. Try to fall down the middle here. Yep. There we go. You might be noticing that the colored grass is a different color for every screen. That's not just for no reason. That actually means something. I missed that. Silly goose. I've been doing too many of these ledges with cherries. trap here. What could yellow grass mean? Don't worry. If you think really hard about it, it's actually pretty awesome. The save cycle on this screen is like the only good cycle. If you don't take the save cycle, you have to wait like... I don't remember how many cycles. It's a lot though. I'm going down. No, they've gone everywhere. There's the path inside. Oops. And here we are. I need to open my notes actually, I don't remember the solution to this. So you can use, yeah. So what the colored grass means, this is the screen you're on, every other screen represents another screen in this stage. And the color of the grass corresponds to the number on the blocks that count down, that goes 4, 3, 2, 1. And so you have to associate the color of each screen with the correct number according to that block. A really, really cool puzzle to cap off an actually pretty cool stage. Now that we've done both 5A and 5B, the secret stage of World 6 is open as well, which is the Starlit Road. It's an invisible block needle. There really isn't much else to say about it. I mean, I guess you can shoot the star, and then it shows everything for a couple of seconds. But yeah, it's just there's not much else to say here. It's invisible needle. So the first section of this you have to do without, and then you get the star. Right, left. I should be able to just go, yeah. That's actually the last stage that I have to do before I can enter the final stage. Oh, I forgot that this star is actually a trap. I forget every single time. You have to do this whole save blind. It's like here, then here, then here, yeah. It's left, then right. And I missed the save. Again, this is one of those stages that's just a lot harder on a higher difficulty. The very last screen of this was pretty infamous. Which obviously it's not helped by the whole invisible needle gimmick, but yeah, it's also very, very hard on top of that. Oops, there goes the mouse cursor. Right. Yeah, there's a cherry bouncing up and down there. Normally not a problem because I had to move my mouse cursor. I went too fast. Yeah, there's a block that spawns there if you go down, but I jumped a little bit too fast and got stuck. Wait. You could also just not use the star, but I quite like seeing. So this is the last screen. It's very, very hard screen on higher difficulties. Here it's not too bad. What is this game? Well, this song is from Mario Galaxy. The gimmick, I mean, the sound effects are also from Mario Galaxy, but I actually haven't played Mario Galaxy in like a few years, so I'm not sure. It might be, though. Yeah, this path at the end is much harder on higher difficulties. And now that we have all 9 wings, we can go to the afterlife and into the final stage. Heaven's Edge. I hope you like this song because you'll be hearing the start of it a lot. Well, hopefully not, but let's be honest, it's probably gonna happen. That's a pretty good song, though. Oh, true, the light bulb that Yoshi eats. I think there's something else too, but I can't remember. It is probably from Mario Galaxy, though. Oops. You also gotta be careful on this stage. These shootable blocks have bad collision order with the spikes, so I gotta be careful about that. I've been talking a lot. That is not a good save to die on. It's fine, we're way underestimated, but let's not spend too long on this. It gives me more time on the final boss, which I might need. The very last jump on this save is right here. You gotta be careful because that spike has bad collision with that block. I didn't shoot that save and that caught me off guard. I shot it, but I guess I was too close to it. Here. I mean, obviously all this needle is much harder on higher difficulties, but I mean, I'm just kind of repeating myself at that point. That's true for the whole game. Gotta let the cherry roam free. I think we're almost at the end of the last stage. Yeah, okay. These are the last saves. It's a couple of screens long in a row. We'll probably get to hear the song loop. I think this is 8 screens long. There's a save in the middle if you're playing on medium. Okay, I guess it's 10 screens long then. No, it could still be 8. I have no idea what this song is. There's the song loop. And the next screen is the last one. There we are, the final ascent. We are at heaven's door. Alright, so this shield will protect us from 2 hits. On standard, I think it's also 2 hits. On expert, extreme, it's 1 hit. Here's the final boss. This is where the whole, timer next to the HP bar really comes into play with this absolutely awesome boss. Hopefully I don't die to it because it's 7 minutes long. Thankfully I have a lot of extra time, but it would be an unfortunate death. Here it comes. Here is the angel. The angel has quite a lot of attacks, and he is the one to have a split health bar. And so what that means is you can see the timer has 50 seconds left on it. If I don't deplete the green section of the health bar before the timer is over, then I die. If I do deplete it, the fight moves on to the next stage. I think this first section has like 8 attacks or something. Oh yeah. If you shoot one of the 3 things that rotate around it, you just take a hit instantly. It's undodgeable. And we're getting blue quite a lot. Yeah, absolute sour please here. Yeah, here's red. Some of these attacks can absolutely catch you off guard, gotta be careful. Here's the second part, which have a bit more HP to take care of. For those of you who might remember Arsth's game, I want to look inside the sequel. I take another look inside. This is what the final boss is inspired by. There we go. I just have to keep dodging for a while. I haven't seen white yet. There's a couple of attacks we haven't seen yet for sure. White, purple, I think is also one that we haven't seen. Obviously, all these attacks are nerfed. They're harder on standard and extreme, on top of having less health. Alright, here's a really short section. You have I think like 6 hits to do in 30 seconds. So you really gotta push it here. Okay, here's purple. Alright. This song is awesome. Oh yeah, and there was white real quick, but we're going to an intermission first. This is one of the most nerfed sections in beginner. This section is a lot easier. These cherries come out like twice as fast on other difficulties. Alright, and now we're back to shooting the boss, but it also has twice as many attacks as before. Each attack just got its own, like, second form. So yeah, white has, like, extra cherries from the top now. So I call this white 2. He can still use white 1. But he can also use white 2 now. Oh yeah, I missed there. So this is blue 2. And now for the grand finale, the last section of health. This is red 2. The cherries go back up now. Yeah, here's green 2. One of the easier attacks. One more hit. Alright. Now we just have to live. The grand finale. God, I get chills every time. And that is going to do it. Alright, time's coming up in a few seconds. Time. Well, that was pretty good. Yeah, that's like a full 20 minutes under my PB. I was worried. Yeah, yesterday I did a practice run and I got like a 2 hour and 10 minutes, I think. I was not very confident. But cool, I I guess I get to show off a little bit of the post game for this game. Because obviously the game wasn't big enough, right? It wasn't enough to be an absolutely gigantic classic adventure game. This game, of course, needs more content. We'll let the credits play out first, though. Shout out TK and Yomo Yomo. Alright, I can close this one. Thank you for playing. And so now we're an angel. Yippee! Here you can just go back to, you know, all the places. Here there's 3 mini games you can do. So there's this. You can get a high score on this. This one's much harder than, oops, I'm playing really bad. Well, let's try that again real quick. Well, let me show the other ones. Here you have to survive and also shoot the cherry a bunch to get score. After a while, cherries from the ceiling. Yeah, if you get an S rank on all the mini games, well, on this difficulty, nothing happens. But if you're playing on extreme and you get an S rank on all the mini games, you get access to the extra stage. Which I can show off a little bit, because I do have a save there. Oh, nice. I don't remember how this controlled. There's hold on. You're supposed to be able to move the fruit, but I don't remember how it works, and the controls aren't indicated. It's not pause. Yeah, M just brings you back here. Well, I will figure this out. Is it the number keys? Okay, I don't remember how that works. I'm giving up. But yeah, those are the 3 mini games. If you give me a sec, yeah, if you get an S rank on all 3, I believe, and you're playing on the extreme difficulty, then there's an extra stage here. Which, let me pull up my backup saves. Yeah, that ruined my death time, I don't know why, but... Well, let me just reopen the game real quick. I don't think my death time should be messed up. Oh, I never backed up my death time. Okay, that's fine. Oh well. Yeah, here's the ultimate trial. As you can see, the needle is a little bit harder now. The bottom left is the I only ever did one save of this. The bottom left is the first save. It's a little bit harder. Yeah, if you miss that, then you know. Yeah, I'll try to do one save for the stream, for the fans. Oh, right. How do you even do that then? Just shoot it and go back, I guess. Yeah, well, damn. That's fine. I can also just go back and show off how much harder some of the other parts of the game are. Not much of a reason to do that one. What's one thing I want to show off for sure? No. Actually, no, there is a fun save here. Hold on. I talked about it earlier. Right, you have to go. Right, no, so first off, here's how much harder this is. You have to do this. You have to, like, just finagle your way above this. This is the extreme difficulty. It is not forgiving. Going right at the bottom there. Yeah, the screen before under creator, before the secret area. See, all these cherries are much faster. I don't even know the timing for that. It's so fast. Yeah, extreme again is very much not about save points. You still have medium, hard, very hard, and impossible. Those handle the save points. Extreme is all about the platforming difficulty. You can tweak those separately. So you can play beginner on very hard if you want, and you have a lot less save points. Or you can play extreme on medium and have as many save points as you want with platforming that's way too hard for its own good. There we go. Yeah, those spinners weren't there before. Yeah. We're nearly there. Here's just a diagonal. Yeah, I want to show off this screen. So here's this screen. You have two downwards diagonals, a diagonal, a gate, downward plane. I think there's a trap somewhere. You have this section, which remember, I have water 1. You have to remember this. This is not water 3, this is water 1. Then down through there. This screen is ridiculous. I just wanted to show that off. I'll give it one shot. There we go, that's your one shot. What else? What is this? Oh, the Under Creator. Yeah, you can already tell this is a little bit harder. It's a little bit harder. I mostly just want to go here to show off this save again. Again, this is basically the exact same save as before in terms of spikes. But this save on Extreme is brutal. It feels like a nightmare. There's basically no additional spikes. And yet because you have a little bit less time on your shield, it goes from being like fine to insanely hard. You have to take this now. Okay, I have to shoot 4 there. I just want to give it like one good attempt. Just so you can get to the ending section, because the ending section is... See, it looks easy, but it's just incredibly punishing. Even just this section now is hard. Yeah, the stories of people spending well over an hour on this save are very common. Yeah, so just this little ending section. Alright, well, I ruined it there, but... You make it through here, and then this, you just have to do this jump. But if you don't exit out of here, like, as soon as possible, you will never make it. It's just that level of brutal. What else do we have? I don't really know much about the other stages, honestly, at this point. It's over here. These are some of the bosses. Yeah, sure. Here's the first save of the final stage. But on extreme difficulty now. That's the first save. Alright, I think I have enough time. I'm gonna do one attempt at the final boss. Let me see if I can even find out where it is. This must be, yeah, the aerial garden. Oh yeah, here it is. Alright, I'll do an attempt at the final boss, then Ghost can take over. We'll see how well I can handle the final boss now. So again, I don't have 2 hits now, I only have 1 hit that I can take, even with the shield. And, well, the attacks are going to be a little bit harder. I already got hit on the intro. The cherries might be a little bit faster. Even just these starting circles are already pretty hard. Thankfully, you basically can't ever buff this. Yeah, I would say the jump in difficulty, like, beginner is maybe like 40 to 50 difficulty. Maybe like 50, we'll say. Probably not. No, it's probably 40. I'm gonna say 40 to 50. And extreme is probably more like 80, 85. Alright, we'll see how long I can last. Oh yeah, the blue is doing that now. Okay, again, I guess we're just getting blue a whole bunch. This isn't really buffed at all, because there's not much you can do to something like this. Yeah, they become invisible, but they can still hurt you, so you have to like find a safe spot. Ooh, purple. Yeah, we haven't seen much of purple. I knew there was 1 HP left there, so could take it easy. For back-to-back purple, okay. Don't want to go too high up. If it transitions into like a red, then we're in trouble. I took a hit there. Yeah, green goes up much faster, and I think it's wider as well. I actually don't think this bit of the intermission has changed. I'm pretty sure it's the same on all difficulties. But the second bit of this intermission, I will probably not live. Yeah. It was nice knowing y'all. Alright, good luck me. Oh my god, I actually dodged it. Yeah, no, it's getting too hard. I gave it my best shot. And with that, I think it's time to go over to the next run, so I'll hand it back over to Ghost. Thank you all for watching. That was a good run. Glad I got to show off the game a lot. This game's awesome. I think people should play it. And, yeah. Peace out, everyone.
感谢 Cosmo 给我们带来的 I Want to Be the Angel 啊，beginner 难度的速通啊。